It's time for my top 10 figures of 2025. Before the video begins, I want you guys to know this is just my opinion, so please don't kill me over any of these choices. So without further ado, let's get into it. And for the number 10 spot, we have got the SH Figuarts, The Games Begin Goku. Now I knew this guy had to go in my top 10 the moment I got my hands on him because oh my goodness, this is the best Goku figure you can get by a mile. SH Figuarts killed it with this guy. I absolutely love the sculpt and all the detail on this guy, and not to mention the articulation is just great. I mean, look at that. No other Goku can do that. Now, yes, I know some people have some issues with that back area there. It's a little gappy, and I definitely understand, but I honestly am the kind of guy who takes articulation over looks. I mean, whenever it looks this good, I don't care if there's a little gap back there, especially because, you know, I'm not going to show that gap whenever I'm posing him, you know? I'm going to be sneaky about it. If you don't see the gap while posing him, then I think it's just fine. But I absolutely love this figure. It's the most fun I've ever had posing a Goku. He just looks super cool. He comes with some great stuff, and he's a budget release, so he's a cheap figure, and a cheap figure is always a great option. So this guy is going in my number 10 spot. Next up for the number 9 spot, I gotta give it to the SH Figuarts Hinata Hyuga. This figure is incredible, and I feel like it's really slept on. There were a couple other Naruto releases this year that were really good, but I felt like this one stood out the most. Mostly thanks to the cool effect pieces you get, which I think add a lot to poses. And I mean, other than that, this is just a super solid release. The articulation is incredible. The way you get 2 different hair pieces for whenever you want her in battle, or just in a neutral stance, and I just think Hinata's design lends itself nicely to a figure. It's just hard not to like a Naruto release from SH Figuarts. I feel like every figure kills it, but something about Hinata just stands against the rest. I think she just articulates the best, and she comes with some incredible accessories. And that's why she's taking the number 9 spot on my list. And now for number 8, we have got Fire Fist Ace. That's right, SH Figuarts Ace has made the list because he is just such an incredible figure. I know some people have their issues with him. I'm only really bothered by how the legs are done, but other than that, he is just super awesome. Not to mention the amount of stuff he comes with. He comes with so many fire effects, and he comes with his coat from the Alabasta arc. I just think with an incredible spread of accessories, and with just how good this figure is, he deserved to be in the top 10. I mean, just playing with this guy is so much fun. He's got so many options for articulation. He's definitely the best figure in the One Piece line. I think even after Usopp, I still prefer this guy. Something about him, just the way he articulates, his accessories, the amount of options you've got with him just feels limitless. He's a perfect addition to any One Piece collection, and I'd argue that any SH Figuarts or just action figure collection in general. This guy is just awesome. And now, for number 7 on the list, we've got Figma Okarun. Yeah, get that bum SH Figuarts Okarun out of here. This is the Okarun we deserve. Which I cannot believe I'm saying that, because this is a Figma, which from my experience has never created the best of figures. Looks wise, they were always great, but articulation, they were never something to look at and say, wow, up until now. Because man, this Okarun is incredible. He articulates very well. He looks way more like Okarun than the SHF does. He just basically eclipses the SHF in every area. I mean, even just posing him is more fun because the mask just comes on and off that simple. Dang, he's got kind of a long neck. But the SHF has you do a bunch of crap with the mask and the glasses, and then the mask will get some weird paint spread on the face, at least in my experience. And then not to mention, he's completely single jointed. But look at this, Figma Okarun, double jointed knees. Wow, it's that easy. And then single jointed elbows, yes, but those get plenty of range. I don't think he really needs more than that. My only complaint with this guy is really just the shoulder area, since he can't raise his arms too much. But other than that, he is just so much better than the SHF, and I love Okarun as a character, so I had to put him on this list. He has been an absolute joy to pose, and I definitely think he deserves the number 7 spot. And just look at this, Okarun is a character that constantly needs to hunch over, so he needs to be able to look forward whenever he hunches over. Look at what Figma did to remedy this problem. Oh my goodness. They add a little flap here, so then this part of his collar will move back, allowing him to actually look straight forward while hunched over. Isn't that incredible? It was that easy, SH Figuarts. It was that easy. And at number 6, I have got the amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech Armored Titan. Now, I honestly wanted to put all the Titans on this list because I really love those figures, but I decided just to choose one, and I had to go with the Armored Titan because I think he looks, feels, and is just the best overall. I mean, first of all, just look at this guy. The Armored Titan's got a fantastic design. I absolutely love all the, well, armor that's on him, and then you can see the muscle underneath, and then of course the paint job here is just really good, especially compared to the other Titans. I think visually this guy really is the best. And then also QC wise, this guy is the best because he doesn't have any parts that fall off. I'm looking at you, Aaron. But since this guy is a Revoltech, he's of course got just some insane articulation, which is just super awesome. I absolutely love playing with Revoltechs, especially whenever they're Yamaguchi, because those ones are honestly always the craziest when it comes to the articulation. And it's funny because you wouldn't think the Armored Titan would have to do all this, but the fact that he can is really awesome. My only issue with this guy is that he doesn't come with a whole lot, and of course he's got that usual Revoltech pre-order face bonus crap, but other than that, he is just an incredible figure, and out of all the Titans, I definitely think he deserved to go in the top 10. Alright, we're officially halfway through the list, and at the number 5 spot, we've got the SH Figuarts Killua. Now, Hunter x Hunter is one of my favorite anime of all time, so maybe I'm a little biased, but this guy just was too good not to have on the list, especially this high up, because oh my goodness, just take a look at him. The detail, the colors, everything, it's just so good. And then of course, you've got these beautiful lightning effects, probably the best lightning I have ever seen done on an action figure. I just love the way it looks. And Killua's hair here, this is for his Godspeed mode, and this just looks so good. Something about the finish with like the frosted blue tips on that just looks so good. And then the faces just look incredible. He's also got amazing articulation, which is really awesome because I wasn't expecting much for small characters like this, especially with how much soft plastic they use here. He actually has a decent ab crunch and everything. But overall, I just love this figure. I love Killua as a character, so of course I had to put him at my number 5 spot. The only reason he's not higher is because these last 4 figures really just took the cake for me this year. Alright, now for number 4, we have got the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Batman Beyond. Now this is a really weird and random pick for me because I am not a huge Batman fan, but I decided to pick this figure up because I saw some other people doing some cool poses with it, so I thought, hey, why not pick it up, see what it's like. And I was super impressed because this guy is probably the smoothest action figure I have ever posed. Every single joint just moves like butter. Nothing has ever fallen off. I haven't experienced any QC problems. He just overall has been a joy to pose, and I think his design is super sick, which definitely adds to the cool factor. I mean, he's got some incredible claw hands that just make the poses look super badass, and then of course you've got the detachable wings that have some articulation in them. I think the only reason this figure isn't any higher is because I'm just not a huge Batman fan, but this is a pick on my list that is just purely because the figure is that good. I'd say if you're a Batman fan, especially a Batman Beyond fan, this figure is beyond worth picking up. But jokes aside, this guy is super awesome, and I definitely think he deserves this spot on the list. Alright, we are officially in the top 3, and starting out, we have the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Genos. Now maybe there's some bias here, but One Punch Man is also one of my favorite anime / manga. Yeah, I refuse to watch the anime after what happened with season 3. But that will not stop me from enjoying the series, and this figure just adds to that enjoyment because oh my goodness, this Genos figure is amazing. I love the cloth jacket because that allows you to have 2 different looks for him, which I think is super awesome, and more figures that can do that should do that. I'm looking at you, SH Figuarts Tsunade. But back to Genos, I think he looks amazing. The metallic texture on his robotic parts looks super clean, and then of course he comes with some great blasting effects that can attach to his hands. He comes with some other effect parts and just some additional parts that make him look super awesome. And I mean, Genos just has a sick design. Just a cyborg with some cool ripped pants, a nice jacket. I mean, just look at him. He just looks cool. But of course, with him being a Yamaguchi figure, he can articulate incredibly well. He can get into pretty much any pose you want him to, which is what gets him into this number 3 spot. And for my number 2 spot, I have got the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Saitama. Yes, it's a little redundant after Genos, but I had to include both of these guys because I love them too much. They're just both so amazing, and I think Saitama's just a little better than Genos just because I love Saitama's design. I love that he's got a cape on him, and he's just a lot of fun to pose. I love all of his expressive heads, especially this one with the darkened eyes. It just makes him look super badass. And just like Genos, he's got incredible articulation. I'd argue for some reason it's actually a little better than Genos. I feel like he just moves around a little bit more than he does. My only issue with this guy is that he has a couple QC problems. I feel like he's loose in just a couple areas, but it's not too big of a deal for me because I have something that fixes loose joints. I do not know what it's called, but it works like a charm, and I've used it on this guy before, and it really helps it out. But overall, I really think Saitama deserves this number 2 spot. He's been one of my most posed figures of the year just because he's so much fun to mess around with. He also comes with some pretty incredible effects. He has like an air blast effect, and then the consecutive punch effect. It just looks super cool. I just realized I have these on the wrong hand. But now, without further ado, it is time to look at my number 1 figure of the year. Finally, number 1 is here, and it is the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Juri. Just look at this figure. The colors, the sculpt, the articulation, it is all there, and it creates a near perfect figure in my opinion. This is one of the most amazing figures to me because I have been anticipating this figure ever since it was announced. We waited for so long. It was supposed to come out in like June, but we waited all the way until December because it got delayed so much. And so I've only had like a week and a half to play with this thing, yet it has been incredible. Definitely the most fun I've had with a figure all year. I feel like I can get infinite poses out of this thing, even if it's technically not as articulated as Saitama or Genos due to limitations like the baggy pants. I still think she comes out on top just because she has been so much fun to play with. Juri is one of my favorite Street Fighter characters ever, and I think they translated her to figure form perfectly. I'm glad Revoltech was the one to do it. I know Storm Collectibles did a Street Fighter 5 version of her, but my copy unfortunately had some QC issues where the leg came off. This figure I haven't experienced any issues with, and man, just look at it. I feel like you can get so many poses out of this, and I love the effects she comes with. They just have so much flair to them. It's just so eye-catching, especially whenever paired up with the figure. My only criticism of this number 1 figure is the faces. Now, I do have to preface, my copy is from AliExpress because I found a way to get it a little bit earlier than the release date because for some reason an AliExpress seller got their hands on a bunch before the actual copies started getting sent out. So I don't know if the faces differ on this batch, if this is maybe an early batch so they look worse than they should. And honestly, I've come to expect this sort of thing with Yamaguchi figures. I'm more so looking at the figure as a whole, and man, it is just incredible, and I am super happy to finally have an extremely well articulated Juri figure. Alright, that is going to do it for my top 10 figures of 2025. I hope you guys enjoyed the list. Let me know in the comments if you agree or if you think I'm a complete and utter idiot and my picks are trash and I need to get better taste in figures. Anyway, also tell me what your guys' top 10 figures of the year are. I'm really interested to know if I missed out on any great figures because there were so many releases this year. And oh my goodness, it looks like there's already going to be so many releases next year. We have got tons and tons of figures to look forward to in 2026, so I'm really hyped to do a lot of reviews on those, and I hope you guys are hyped to see them. One final thing, thank you all for watching the videos. I just got this channel started this year just on a whim, and here we are. We already got 300 subscribers. Videos are getting views. I mean, I'm happy as a little happy penguin. I don't know. Once again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in 2026.